On today's episode of That Mental Ginger Show, we are talking to director and musician Adam Smith. Adam's a Star Wars fan, so you know that already I like him. He's a good guy, works hard, he's trying to make a name for himself, and obviously I'm all about helping people that are up and coming. Phrasing. Let's just cut to the intro, shall we?
All right, troops.
Adam, a pleasure to see you again, my friend. How you been?
Hi, Andrew. Yeah, I'm doing good, thanks.
Good, good. Well, for my audience, I had to actually credit Adam for first time being on a camera doing something in about, well, a very long time.
Yep.
And also my very first documentary as well, which was really good. I saw the test footage. Looking quality, I was looking very mysterious.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I'm very happy with how it's turned out so far. Yeah,
it looks good, man. So, have you had because it's for your course, isn't it?
Yeah, it's for the course I'm studying at SE at the moment, doing digital film production. So yeah, we're in the documentary stages now. So yeah.
Oh, nice one. So when is it due by? Or is all deadline passed? Or
I think it's July 29th actually. So still got a whole another month basically, and we're doing another 2 documentaries as well on top of that. So yeah.
Ah, sweet. If you need it, if anything falls in, you know where I am.
I know, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And if you get obviously permission to, release it for general release afterwards, let me know and I can put it on the channel or give you a plug if it's released somewhere else.
Yeah, I'll let you know then.
Definitely, man. But we've already hinted on the starts of your origin story, so let's jump right into it, because the one thing we all have in common is that we all have an origins. So Adam, for my faithful followers, please tell us your origin story.
All right, hello. So I'm Adam. I'm 32 years old at the moment. I'm actually from South Africa. I actually came over here when I was 11 years old.
Hey.
Yeah, so that's
You're
kind
actually
of like where I came from.
The second South African I've interviewed in this podcast.
Oh, really? That's
yeah.
yeah,
The other one was a little bit older. He's an actor and a comedian. Sean Higgs, his name is.
Okay, cool.
Is that all about bringing the cultures together? Even though they're all white men.
But yeah, so I'm actually from the east coast of South Africa called Durban, and I was brought over here. My mum brought me over here in 2001, I think, and I actually arrived on Christmas Eve, and I seen snow for the very first time that morning when I arrived.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing.
That was crazy coming from such a hot climate to that basically. And my dad put me on the plane with shorts on and a tiny little t-shirt. And I got off on Christmas Eve, and mum was like, right, straight into town. We need to get your jacket and some long johns.
I was going to say, they did not think it through, did they?
No, because it's summer in South Africa and wintertime here, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
he didn't really have a clue either.
I always get the only reason I kind of know obviously the difference is because like my wife watches the Australian soaps. So
okay, I see what you mean.
But not for long. One's going bye.
Aye.
Yep.
Wait. So I came over here when I was 11, obviously. Where was going to go with this now? What was it? Yeah, and obviously finished school when I was 16. I left and I'd done sound engineering.
Nice.
Because I've always been in bands basically. So I was like, I'll go do sound engineering, study that, and then I can record and do all my own music, which I still do at the moment. I never finished the course, but I still studied myself. So I taught myself over the last 10 years.
Nice. How far did you get?
I think I was in the course for like maybe 10 months or so. But
right.
like even looking back then to where now, we were recording from a CD onto a cassette. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Compared to what you do now, like 10 years later, it's just it's came leaps and bounds basically.
It's like my sound engineer when I'm in the studio, like Matthew Hilley, like he's just finished it. And he'd actually asked to interview me for a part of his course, and I was like, all right, cool. Why? Because at that point, I was only just kind of getting myself together. He's like, but they're all talking about like how to approach like businesses, like the business is like you're the type of stuff that you'll know the stuff that we're trying to get across, and I'm like, your main client has been me. That ain't like that. It's like you've got better clients on the go, man. Come on, you can do this.
Yeah.
So I was basically giving them. I'm like, if I give you too many of my tips, you'll leave me. So
Yeah,
nah.
exactly. That's it. Aye.
But so what? Some of the artists that you've done recordings for, like any name drops?
Oh, not really. Haven't actually professionally recorded anyone apart from doing demos for my own band. That's it.
Tell me about your own, like your own band. Then, what was the style? What was the genre? Tell me about the process.
So for the last, I think 8 years or so, me and my friend Matt started a band called Horizons in Glasgow, and we've
Nice.
just basically just finished that band, and I'm in another one now called Only You, and
Yeah.
I'm now studying digital film and want to get into music videos. So I've done the latest music video for our release. So
Nice.
just because obviously just doing music videos is actually quite uh, a hefty sum to pay. So I was like, I'll go study it for 2 years and then I can just do it for us. So
Nice
yeah,
one.
I'm actually very, very proud of the music video we just released as well. Yeah, so
Yeah. So
loving the course and stuff.
yeah. So when did you release it?
I think it was the 17th of June, so 11 days ago.
Nice one, man. So, tell my audience where can they find it? What in the on the
Usual
YouTube verse?
yeah, on the YouTube. If you just look at, I think it's We Are Only You official, and also all the major streaming platforms. You're welcome to look us up there. We're all at We Are Only You.
Oh, nice one, man. So, what kind of sound is it? What genre? Do you think you fall into a genre, or do you think you're kind of the anti-genre? What's the deal?
Well, we kind of go along the alt rock pop path. You know, we don't really want to label it as such, but it's more like the cinematic kind of vibes we're going for with the
Yeah.
huge choruses, nice chill verses. You know, and then yeah, melodic lyrics.
Yeah, I always seems to be something that like when I interview like bands or like any like artists who essentially what are unsigned, they all say we don't want to fall into a label. We don't want a label on
Yeah.
our genre, man. And I'm like, wow, it's
Yeah.
certainly different from when we were young. We're just like, yes, we fall into every genre. Give us
Aye.
money.
Yeah, I think it gives you the freedom to go into different genres like that because our very first song, Into the World, that's kind of like a straight up rock song kind of. And
Nice.
then the more that we're starting to write music digitally as well, we're adding more synths, strings, MIDI packs, all of this kind of thing to enhance it as such. And it's going away from the whole rock thing to the more like, if you've ever heard of the band called Hertz, like it's more
Yes.
synth heavy. So like that way we're trying to experiment more with that.
Nice one, man. That sounds
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
So like the whole intro for like our new one, Battle Scars, it's actually all strings, and we've got that going through the backing track as well when we're playing live.
Ah, nice one. So where's some of the venues that you've headlined? Where's the give the names?
So we've literally just had a very, very first gig. Because we only started during COVID, basically, we haven't been able to gig at all. So just the last 2 years, we've released the 5 songs, and we've just headlined Audio underneath the Central Bridge.
Nice one, man. Yeah. That's a good venue to headline as well.
I know, exactly, for our first gig. So we're very, very proud of that. And I've done like the projector footage for behind us as well.
Oh, nice. So how did you do like the rehearsals during lockdown? Was it like kind of over Zoom, or was it like or did you do like COVID restriction, like when they eased up, like just kind of do the 2 meters apart? What was
basically as soon as the restrictions lifted for like the 2 weeks or the 3 weeks, we'd go out and we'd shoot a music video, and then we'd go back to writing while the restrictions were in place again. And it was just all on like having Zoom meetings back and forward, sending demos and songs. And then as soon as I say, the COVID restrictions lifted, we'll go. So we did 4 music videos or 3 music videos throughout lockdown as soon as the restrictions lifted.
Yeah.
And one of them was on Irvine Beach on the 20th of December. And our lead singer, Chris, had a wetsuit and he went into the water. So yeah, props to him for doing that. And
he came out alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, well, I wouldn't have been blue. I would have been grey because I'd have been dead.
I know, exactly. And then like the guy who was filming it as well, he was like, hold on a second. And he went and got like a wetsuit as well from the car, and he went into the water with him. So we were like standing on the shore with jumpers and going, oh my God.
Oh man. What, you're just looking at like, you're either brave or stupid. Which one is it going to be?
Exactly. Just do not send me in there, please.
Yeah, you were smart. You're the guy like the filming, going right. I can't go in because I've got the gear. Like I'm filming, I need to get the shots right. Like, good luck.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
So one of the advantages of being behind the camera, sometimes you want people to suffer as you've suffered.
Yeah, exactly.
So So what do you think about being like the directing side of it? What kind of director would you say that you are if you had to compare? I know it'll be the answer of I want to be my own director, but if you had to.
One thing I'm really enjoying is like the cinematography side of directing as well, and doing the whole shot list. I'm terrible at drawing. I draw little stickmen, but
Same.
to see the actual shots that I had compared to the music video, what I've done is actually really pretty cool, because I had this one wide angle shot of like the guitar in the corner, like on this side, and then this was like nothing. It was just negative space with like a red background, and then to see that from the storyboard to the actual shot that I got, it was almost pretty much bang on.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's like it is quite fun when you get to do that and you get to see your vision kind of come to life, because this time last year, well, at the time of this recording anyway, I was starting my Flower of Scotland cover, that had been like 12 years in the making, because I was like I was just never had the confidence to do it, and then I thought, fuck it, why not? And then so when you're in the studio and hearing it all back, and I was like, I started greeting, because I was like, this has all been in my head for years, over a decade, and
finally to hear it.
Yeah, and then I was like, fuck, I've got to do a music video. I was like, I never thought that far ahead.
Yeah.
But so I'm like going out like down the back roads of Gartcosh, like filming my mate standing outside just at the edge of a field, like look like Creed for the 90s. Like doing all that kind of stuff, and then it was just me, like if I was going to my work in the town or whatever, see the buskers, I'd be like, you guys want to be in a music video? What? I'm like, trust me. So it's just me like photobombing them, like,
oh, okay, cool.
They're like, oh, that was quite fun, and I'm like, yeah, well, here you go, here's the money.
Yeah,
as well, just what money was on there. So how do you find like doing filming and that, like kind of on the quote unquote the shoestring budget, aka nothing?
It's okay, I suppose. I mean, I know I'll be able to smash it once I do finally get a budget and stuff, but yeah, I think it brings your creativeness not down a little bit, but constricts it of what you have to do with shot wise and stuff, and obviously locations and stuff. But then again, you make it work, so like for that music video there, we wanted, like, I don't know if you've ever seen, like, it's like a milk bath basically with like flowers floating in it. So we just done that in Chris's house.
Nice.
We just blacked out all the windows. We had him in it, and it's a tiny bath, so we had to have him like facing up the way with his legs up on the wall.
It's crazy. It's crazy the things you have to do to try and get the shots that you need.
I know, exactly. Yeah.
It's so nuts. It's like I was filming one of my other podcasts in in a studio in Glasgow, because I was getting it, for free. And then I was trying to figure out all the angles and stuff while they were all off like sorting business things. And when they came back, they're like, you just see like my laptop perched up, and my laptop was down there. All the camera stuff that's here was set up at this wee tiny pedestal, and then all the other stuff that I'd done, and they were like, you sure you know what you're doing? And I went, no, but we'll find. I'm like, no, but we'll find out as we go. We'll learn from these mistakes.
I think that's.
I was doing some editing today. I think I was doing some editing today. I think it turned out all right.
Aye, well, there you go. Aye.
Yeah, it's got that rustic feel about it. That's what I'll say. That's code. That's good. That's code for you don't have a budget. It just it's rustic.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what type of like because I always get to ask, because I do more editing stuff as well. What type of editing software you got?
I've got Premiere Pro and After Effects and all that stuff. So,
nice. What did you get it on like the student rates?
Yeah, I got the Adobe Suite thing on the Black Friday sale for students, so that was good. Nice. So I've got it for the next year, which is amazing.
Oh, brilliant! It's like, I've got because I'm not obviously a student. I had to, when I was like, I'm not paying that price for Adobe. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so, it's pretty expensive, to be honest.
Yeah. So I've got Movavi, it's called.
Okay.
If they ever want to sponsor this podcast, give me a shout, because you basically keep me in business. But because I like going on it and just like messing about and seeing what I can do, different techniques and stuff like that. And I think I'm getting better. I think.
Yeah. Well, that's it. The more you do, the better you get, So
yeah. Well, more people seem to, like we were saying before we went on air, more people are actually asking me to come on rather than me chasing for guests. So I'm like, must be doing something right.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah.
So what year are you in your studies?
Still my first year. So basically, at SAE, it's a 2-year degree course, which is fast track instead of the 3 and 4 years. So I'm actually only.
So it's kind of like a driving test. Like if you've got like the ones where you can go for like the longer one, then you've got an intensive course.
Yeah, so it's basically that. Yeah, and it's very very practical rather than like the essay heavy side and the dissertations and all that. So within our first week, we're already out filming like short films and stuff.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm really really enjoying it. And now we're at the stage of doing the documentaries. We have our own crews.
Nice.
Yeah, so I think I'm producer for the documentaries now, whereas I have a director, a cinematographer, just keeping them all in check as such. But yeah, it's good. It's really good fun.
Is it still the same ones that you were working with when I came around?
Yeah, so it was Christina and Bryony. Yeah, so
oh, good. Yeah, they were lovely. They were really nice, and I was like, but at the same time, I was like, I'm probably old enough to be your dad.
Don't worry, I think that as well. I'm 32, you know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, at first, when this goes out, I'll have just turned 35 because my birthday's on Thursday. So yeah, you're still
okay, nice.
So you're still younger than me. It's all right. Life hasn't beat you down yet. And I wouldn't have pegged you. I wouldn't have pegged you for that anyway. I would have thought like like late 20s at a push. Let's say like 27. I would have thought. So there you go. I've knocked 5 years off you, man.
Thanks.
Your casting age knocked you off 5 years, so it's all good. So what's next kind of in the on the horizon for you, man? Like obviously once you get to obviously second year, you'll have more work than that to do. But are you going to try any other kind of projects on your own steam to try and build up your like showreel and stuff?
I think so, yeah. So obviously now that I've done my first music video, I kind of want to use that as maybe like a side hustle on the side that I can do as well as still learning. At the moment, I do want to get into wedding videography as well, but obviously you need the pretty decent equipment for that. But it's something to look at. I did actually shoot one of my friends' weddings in February, but that was just on my phone. And
I loved it. There was a pause there. It was like I did shoot one of my friends' weddings.
Yeah, weddings.
I was about to go. It's like, was it an AK? Was it a rifle?
Yeah, I know. But yeah, so that was like my first experience, and I actually quite enjoyed it. And that's when I was like, I could actually probably do that as well.
Yeah.
So I think me and Bryony, who you met, and then another guy from my course as well, Jamie, we've actually started like a little media production company called Mosai Productions.
Nice.
Which is going to be doing music videos and then also event photography. And then I also said to Christina the other day as well, like we should bring, because she's doing the more of the branding and the ads side of it. So it was like, why don't we try and work together again? And then that's another aspect we have for the production company, you know?
That's nice. So what inspired the name?
To be honest, we went for a pint and we were like, oh, what's a cool name? And then I think Mosai was the Greek goddess of music. So we were like, oh, well, that's kind of fitting, you know. So we'll just use that.
Nice. Well, I always like hearing like how the like names of things come to be, because people ask me about like why is it called That Mental Ginger Show? It's like and I go, it's like the Ron seal of titles. It does what it says in the tin. But I'm ginger. I've got mental health issues, and this is my show.
Yeah. It's a good name though, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, it's when people say like go like it's like, oh, I've been on the Mental Ginger Show, and I'm like, it's That Mental Ginger Show. But that was the only thing that I was deliberate, because like I always used to write that like a load of times in like essays and stuff like that. Well, and anytime I'm doing like any essays, I'm like, I can take that out, I can take that out. So I thought, I was like, well, I'll put it in here. It's been part of my vocabulary for so long. That deserves a shout rather than
a little personal touch.
Yeah, definitely. And then I was a default with the Ginger Engine, just to get that in there as well.
Yeah.
So are you gonna do kind of a similar thing where you'll have like separate kind of things? Like you obviously got Rose Island, you have other kind of ones as well to tie in, or the diversifying your revenue streams, as they say.
I think so. Yeah. So as well as doing Mosai as well, I'm also just doing myself for like live photography as well if anyone needs me. Nice. So yeah, just little things on the side that I'm just building up my portfolio as such. And I've got my next music video booked in as well with a band called Anchor Lane.
Nice.
2 weeks, I think it's the 10th of July. I'm filming that one. Yeah.
Sweet. That's cool, man. Are you still just doing it kind of pro bono, or are you charging?
No, just because it's a student thing at the moment, obviously I just need to keep it in line. So I just said to them, they're booking out an Infinity Cove down at Abercrombie Business Centre. There's a big studio there called Broadscope, and they have the Infinity Wall, so we're going to be doing it there.
Nice one. See the place that we filmed, do you guys have to pay for that, or is that run by your course?
Yeah, that's just connected to SAE. Basically, that's just like another big building that they have. But to be fair, it is a small university. It is that building, and then just around the corner, we had the other place where you went to, and that's it, basically.
Yeah, it's cracking, man. It's got a nice, good kind of like chilled feel to it. I just remember sitting, I'm like, how much they charge?
Yeah.
Like,
I think that's why I like it so much, because it is so practical. Like all the things, it's for like creatives, you know. So you've got your game animation, you've got your sound engineering, you've got your music business, and you've got your film. So,
and next time you're there, let's see if you can scrounge me up some more guests for the podcast.
Oh yeah, I'll see them.
Well, definitely. Like, right, I was on. It wasn't the worst thing on the internet. It was all right.
No, I'm enjoying it. So yeah, that's good.
That's cool, man. Let them just. So aside from the, obviously the filmmaking stuff, like, so what do you do in your spare time? What's your hobbies and your other passions that are kind of out with it?
Normally gaming. I don't game as much anymore because I'm actually trying to, like, whenever I'm trying to game nowadays, I'm more like, I'd rather just be learning something. So like YouTube tutorials, anything like that with video editing, After Effects, I'm just trying to learn as much as I can as fast as possible, because basically.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of saying, like, I mean, I've never been a gamer because like I'm shite at it. I've always been shite at it. I was like, I broke more controllers than than games that I've actually completed. So it was a case of, you know what, nah, it's not for me. And so everybody likes to play with me because they know that I'm shit. So it was like an easy mark. And I'm like, no. I was like, so saying I went online, I was like, this wasn't what it was like when I was growing up. It was very insular. Like, you didn't play with anybody else. Go away.
I know exactly.
I don't want to get my ass kicked by a 10-year-old from Vietnam. Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm the same, but I'm always looking at the tutorials, and it's things for like, you know, business tutorials, like how to grow on YouTube and all that stuff. So like it went from being like, you know, having all these wee daft superhero kind of like podcasts and stuff that was on it, and then now it's like how to grow your business and grow your brand and stuff like that.
Cool. Yeah.
My wife must be like, what the fuck is he watching now?
Aye.
Like jumping between
that's always good though.
Yeah, jump between that and Thomas the Tank Engine content videos to try and get more ideas. She's just like, I'm divorcing you. I'm waiting for it. It's coming like a slow train. It'll be there, but eventually.
Well, hopefully not.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like, I've only pissed her off like 2 or 3 times this year. So I've done not bad. I've done not, but that's actually quite low in the scale of how I normally piss her off. Yeah. Well, it's an absolute pleasure like speaking with you, Adam. So like, tell my audience, where can they find your stuff? Like, so all your socials, all that kind of stuff, like sell
it. So you'll find my WordPress with my portfolio. I think it is adamsproductions.wordpress.com, where you'll find all my show reels, portfolio stuff if you want to get in contact with me to work with. For my band stuff, we are Only You on all the major streaming platforms, on YouTube as well. Best thing to find us on YouTube is if you just type in maybe Only You and then Battle Scars or Into the Wild. Battle Scars is the most recent one with the music video that I've done myself, so I'm very proud of, if you want to have a look at that. Other than that, I think that's everything.
Yeah, well, after we come off this, like, make sure to send me the links, and for everybody watching, the links will be down in the description below. Give them a subscribe, give them a follow, give them the love and support. That's what we're all about here at That Mental Ginger Show. Not just helping gingers, helping actual people.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, you know, it's like me and like a couple of guys that I'm working with on some other projects, like for international stuff. What they were all, I was like, why the fuck do you guys want me? And they're like, it's because you're the same as us. You want to help people. And it's like, and I think it's because you're like us. You never got that helping hand yourself. And I was like, well, nah, I'm ginger. Wasn't expecting one. It was like if I want to do it, I've got to do it myself and try and make something of it. And they were like, yeah, and that's why we like you. You like to give
back. That's good. Yeah, that's a good headspace to be in, you know.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, I like to give back, but I need money.
I need money. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we've all got our circumstances. I got a wife and 2 kids to support, so yeah. So you get on that hustle, my friend. It's like, if you need any advice, I am soon starting the Ginger's Guide to Podcasting. Please subscribe now and give me money.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That's just my subtle plugs. They'll be coming in more often as the way I'll be shouting like, ye sponsors.
Yeah.
Well, since I got my first one, I'm like, I want more. It's like sponsor.
I want more. Yeah.
It's like sponsor crack. Give me more.
Unlimited power.
Oh yes. Oh, you a Star Wars fan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So right, gotta ask, what's your favorite? What's your favorite film?
I can't even remember the name of it. Rogue One, hands down, my favorite Star Wars film.
Oh, a very interesting choice. So I've got to ask why.
That end Vader scene was just unbelievable. And
Mm.
obviously, actually, when I was halfway through the film, I forgot that they all thingied at the end.
Yeah.
Then it happened. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I remember like going. I was took my cousin to see it, and he hadn't seen any other Star Wars stuff, which I didn't know about at the time because I thought he had seen it. And then he's seen that. He's like, "It's a pretty bleak ending," and I'm like, "Do you know anything about Star Wars?" No. Then why the didn't you tell me before I bought the tickets, man?
Yeah, but yeah, that end scene is just unbelievable. How it just goes into the first one. So
it was fantastic. It was like, but I seen like some of the memes, and it was like from A New Hope, and he was saying like, "Get the prisoners, I want them alive." And it's like, meanwhile, 20 minutes earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like he just like absolutely like destroyed everybody. I just remember you could tell it was the guy that directed Godzilla that did that movie, because it was like such a tease right through it, and then you just get that one shot. And it was the same way as Godzilla movie, like it did get, it was more of the human side of it, and then you got like what, like 2-3 minutes of Godzilla max if you're lucky. Well, and I was like, okay, I get it. The suspense just leaving wanting more.
Yeah, exactly.
You watch the TV shows as well?
Yeah, just finished Kenobi there. Yeah, it was really good.
Yes,
Kenobi. You could tell that it was very small scale production though, compared to like some of the sets, obviously. But yeah, I still loved it.
Yeah. Well, I've not seen it myself because I was wanting to wait to see if it tied into like Mandalorian or Boba Fett, because I've not seen them yet. So I was like, I want to watch Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I need to know, does it tie into anything? Does it tie into any of those two shows? So I'm asking, does it tie into any?
No, it's kind of like a secluded thing, so you can just watch it. Yeah,
good.
It's a good bridge between the first 3 episodes and the actual very first films.
Yeah, that's quite cool. Well,
but yeah,
so I will definitely be able to get on that. So what did you make of the Clone Wars?
Are you talking about the animated one or the actual episode 2?
Well, why don't we? Let's go with both. Why not? Because there's quite a few. Because there's Attack of the Clones episode 2.
Yeah.
Then there was the 2008 movie. Then there was the 2D anime, and there was the 2D animated series, and then there was the 3D animated series. So
yeah. So I haven't seen the latest Clone Wars that they brought out again. It was like the final season or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember watching the Clone Wars on Cartoon Network maybe like 15 years ago, and that's the one that I loved. I thought that was so good.
Yeah. Oh, it was definitely it was brilliant. Like, because I waited till the final season came out and I just binged it all because I hadn't seen it. And I was like, right, I'll just write that out. And if you are going to watch like the final season, like the first 4 episodes, good. Set like the next 4, you could probably skip. I see. Well, you could watch them, but I would maybe advise just have it on the background when you're doing your ironing. That's
right. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
Well, in the last 4, make sure you give your undivided attention. It is fucking awesome.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Absolutely amazing.
Right. I'll need to go back and watch that then.
To the point that I was like, why did you do those other 8 episodes? Just those 4 would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
That's all you needed to release. You did way too much. What did you ever watch Rebels?
I think I maybe like 1 or 2 episodes. Didn't really watch that one or the Bad Batch. I started watching Bad Batch as well, and I was like, not really a fan of this one, to be honest.
Well, Bad Batch, you get their setup in the first 4 episodes of the final season. So, you're best watching that to get the kind of idea of it, and then jumping in, because I watched the Bad Batch as well, because I was like, right, it ties into ones I've seen. Dancer. So I went with that. Rebels, first season, it's kind of like when you watch the Clone Wars at first season, ride it out, and then it starts getting better from there.
Yeah.
Because the point I was like, I've watched the first season, I was like, I've seen this before. To oh my god, I actually care about these characters, and I'm crying. What the deal? Why am I crying? Why am I crying over things that I could just hit Control Alt Delete?
Yeah. But I think like that as well, like the episode 2 and 3, like between that transition in the Star Wars universe, that's like I think that's one of the prime bits of like, because there's so much that happened and there's so much they can tell story wise.
Definitely, and that was one of the things that I loved about it. It really fleshed out everything in between. But so much so that like when Hayden Christensen said that he went back and watched like not only like episode 2 and 3, but he watched the Clone Wars as well because so much stuff had happened and he needed to know about it. And I was like, good.
You have my respect.
Yeah, the respect was always there. I always felt really bad for the criticism that he got, like because that I always like put like episode 3 as one of my top ones, and everyone was like, "Why are you putting a prequel in your top 3?" And I was like, "Because it's good."
Yeah, I still loved them.
It's like, oh, by default, it's good, and I'm like, no, it's genuinely good. Some of the dialogue,
definitely.
The dialogue's just cheesy as shit. We all know that, but what you only work with what you've got. And I think it's held up really well. So I'm like, oh, you fuckers, I was right.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you can see us like descending into like the dark side and all that. You know, I think it was brilliant.
Yeah. Well, if you watch like episode 2, then watch the Clone Wars and go into episode 3, what it has even more of an impact. But it's the same time when you're watching those last 4 episodes, because they tie into episode 3, that you just have that moment in your heart. You're just like, oh no,
okay.
I've not wanted to get to this moment, and now we're here, and I just feel like I'm getting constantly kicked in the goalies.
Oh god.
but you don't. But like a weird sex pest, you don't want it to stop because you're like, this is the emotional torture. Keep it going.
Keep it going.
Yeah, but trust me to link Star Wars and BDSM. Well, we are starting to come up on time, so I will ask you the question that I ask all my guests to round off. If you could give one piece of advice to anybody that was struggling with mental health issues at this point in time, what would that piece of advice be and why?
I would say just do not care what other people think. If you think they're judging you or anything like that, just do not give a shit about what anyone else thinks. And if you are suffering, seek help. I think now is the perfect time for people to seek help, because as you say yourself, you're wanting to help people. I think loads of people want to help people who are struggling at the moment as well. So yeah, it's hard to say just be happy, because no one is actually ever just happy. You know, everyone is struggling in some way, but everyone else wants to help each other.
Definitely, man. And it's like it's something that I always remembered. Like my mum had gave me some advice when I was struggling one of the times, and she said like, don't try and be happy, because no one will ever be happy. Try to be content.
Yeah.
And I was like, didn't really make sense to me at the time. And then as I was getting a bit older, I'm like, I get it. Be content. Well, I was like, I've got a wife that loves me, 2 brilliant kids. It's like I'm doing something that I love now. I'm more than content.
Exactly.
So it's at that stage to, like you said, start giving back. And again, like guys like yourself and Ewan, who you know as well, I want to try and help them kind of get on the ladder, and we're like, okay, don't make these mistakes. But you will make these mistakes, and I'll be there to go, I told you.
Exactly, yeah. They're there to help us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And Adam, it's been a blast having you on, man.
Definitely, Andrew. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I knew we'd get on because also when we're at the documentary and stuff, but then the second you mentioned Star Wars, I was like, I can get him back for Super Ginge.
There we go. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, cause like, do you like Marvel and stuff as well, like superhero stuff?
Yeah.
You're a shoe-in. You're back. You'll be on Super Ginge. Don't you worry, my friend.
Awesome. Yeah, just hit me up. I'm down for that.
Yeah, definitely. So as I say, I'm expanding my empire.
Exactly. That's it.
I just don't have the wrinkly scrotum face just yet. It's like, that's what the beard's hiding.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like the attempt on my life has left me scarred. Except I won't turn up 30 years later and they just say somehow the ginger returned.
Yeah, exactly. There's many clones.
Yes, the dark side is a pathway to many abilities. Some have considered to be unnatural. And you see that, and you see that face, and you're like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
I was like, that face summed up how I felt about Rise of Skywalker. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
She really did.
Yeah, honestly didn't really enjoy that one at all, to be honest.
Oh my god, like, because I'm one of the few that really liked Last Jedi.
I loved Last Jedi.
But I thought it was really good. And again, everybody was like, "Are you on crack?" And I'm like, "No." But I was like, the only thing I don't want them to try and retcon all this because they hate. And sure enough, they retconned everything about it, and that just made it worse. It just made it so much worse.
I think me and my friends are big Star Wars fans, so when we went to go see it, we were going to Amsterdam the next day. So we went to go see the midnight showing of Last Jedi, and that fight scene with was it Snoke in that chamber was unbelievable. We were just like, oh!
Yeah. I was like, it was so like brilliant as well because everybody's always said, why don't they just light a lightsaber and just like straight through, and then he done it, and I'm like, finally.
Yep.
Finally.
Yeah, it was great.
No, there's obviously bits that you don't agree with, but at the same time, if you were going down that road, at least stick with the road. Don't do a massive U-turn on it and then be like just doing things like somehow this person returned.
Yeah.
Now you're a Palpatine, and Leia knew, but she couldn't tell you because she's dead in real life. So we'll just blame everything on her.
Yeah.
Well, I just felt like that was a massive kick in the stones to Carrie Fisher's name. I'm like, just everything, every plot hole that you guys couldn't dig a way out of, all Leia knew about it. And I was like,
yeah, exactly.
Don't do that to Carrie Fisher.
Shoddy.
Yeah. That brings me to Father Ted, where he's just kicking all this stuff. He's like, it's shoddy workmanship, and if it's not breaking, he's like battering the lumps out of it.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that was fantastic. Adam, it's been a blast having you on, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Cheers. Thank you very much, Andrew.
Yeah. So until next time, my faithful followers, I've been Andrew Durnan. That has been Adam Smith. And I had to be very careful because this is obviously a reverse mirror, so I'm pointing the point that way to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm on my screen.
I'm like, here we go. He's over there. He's there. No, check out his stuff. Like I said, links will be in the description. Give him some love, give him some support, Matt, because we all need it right now. And until next time, take care. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.